Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So AJ Hall here on Twitter posting this. Listen closely and tell me they aren't talking about Ripple and XRP. Notice how she says digital X and how they all laughed. We know what's coming. Well, how about you guys judge for yourself?
The US dollar, as the world's reserve currency in its current form, remains the world's reserve currency? Or do you think digital X, and you can fill it in if you choose to or probably not, has taken over? Kristalina, to you first.
Yes, the US will be reserve currency in 10 years.
A digital or the current form?
Whether it is the current one or it is a digital dollar is to be seen. That is, let's get together in 10 years and see what we have in our wallet. Is it a digital dollar, digital wallet, or we still rely on the dollar as we know it? And it is very likely it might be both. Why? Because the strength of the US economy, the depth of the capital markets in the United States, and above all, the innovation capability of US companies, that is what is lifting up the United States. And we will see likely some changes in the composition of reserve currencies. And I'm pretty sure there would be presence of digital in that world 10 years from now.
All right, and then the clip cuts off there. Well, when Julia Chatterley says digital X, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't think I'm convinced. It doesn't really sound like she is talking about XRP. Nevertheless, I think we know where all these people's minds are when talking about, you know, money moving across borders. We're talking about CBDCs. We know there is one cryptocurrency that is really going to be that powerhouse to move all the money. AJ Hall down here, you know, also saying, she also mentions innovation from private US companies. What other digital assets or crypto do you know of that has a private company promoting it and has a dynamic team, including regulators, a treasurer, and bankers? It's clear XRP will be used. So yeah, I mean, to that point, I do have no doubt XRP will be used. A few other points that I thought were interesting here was Kristalina Georgieva talking about, you know, the USD, or rather a digital version of the USD, still not waning, will still be the world reserve currency in 10 years. Even though the composition of the global reserve currency may change a little, it will still include at least the US dollar, and so no sleep being lost over that. I also just wanted to bring this to your attention. So this is a very astute observation from Simpson XP here on Twitter, retweeting out Panda Ripple XRP's tweet from back in February of 2020. Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple talking to the same interviewer, Julia Chatterley. Listen to this.
Who's most open to this? Because I was in Southeast Asia, and the growth in digitization, in payments, particularly for the proportion of the unbanked population, is so huge. Yeah. And I do feel like the regulators there are all stepping up. China is another example with, I mean, they're even talking about, you know, a yuan digital coin here.
Right.
Who's leading?
Well, it depends a little bit how we talk about leading. I mean, China, to your point, it's been fascinating to see. I mean, they really, through mining power, control the Bitcoin blockchain. You have 4 miners in China that represent something like 60+% of mining capacity, and 80% of mining capacity about is based in China for both Bitcoin and Ether. So in many ways, I think China's been incredibly strategic about how they think about that.
Yes.
And I look at the U.S. and I say, hey, U.S., here we are in downtown New York. We could and should, I think, do more for that clarity to allow for more investment. But you see, I think, a lot of countries around the world seeing that this is a technical wave, this is a major step, and they want to invest in it. They want to see companies continue to invest, and I think that's good for the economy.
So I'm going to leave it there. Brad Garlinghouse touching a little bit on China, saying, you know, how their strategy, well, he talks about it with regards to Bitcoin, but, you know, even just from the news that we have heard since then, again, this interview was from over a year ago now. Since then, China really has come into its own, has launched its CBDC, has deployed it amongst the public. And, you know, to Kristalina Georgieva's point here, maybe the world reserve currency is not going to just be the USD. It could be another currency or something that could be partially pegged, a basket of currencies partially pegged to the USD and others. We could see a few different world reserve currency. I mean, there are different ways we could look at this. Of course, we all want, and I'm sure AJ Hall is no different, we all want XRP to be that world reserve currency. It is agnostic. Anybody can use it. It is not controlled by any one nation. And so, I mean, in a lot of ways, that would make a lot of sense. But of course, Political implications are implied there. I wanted to thank AJ Hall for posting that. Did you guys see this from BondCrypt XRP? Say no more, judge for yourself. And take a look at that. Just take a look at how many partnerships Ripple has accumulated over the years. And to be honest with you, I don't even see every single partnership on here. I don't see some of the central banks that we know Ripple is partnered up with. However, a lot of these instant payment providers are listed here, like Ria, Azimo, I've heard over the years, DBank, Rebanking, Remitter, BNC10, Wirebarley we talked about earlier this year, Banco Tapazio, Banco Modal, MoneyNet Int, of course. We got Akbank, the Kuwait Financial House, the National Bank of Fujare, the National Bank of Kuwait, of course, another one. So we do have a few banking partners listed on this, but I do not even think that this is an exhaustive list of all the Ripple partners. So a great resource here, originally created by XRP_Stewart on Twitter, but also wanted to thank BondCrypt XRP for posting this. And Panos here on Twitter, Swiftgo is just a marginal improvement on top of an outdated and obsolete infrastructure. Now, just the other day we talked about Swiftgo and how they just came out with a new product trying to compete obviously with RippleNet, just an exchange of data with unidirectional messaging when Ripple offers exchange of value. The Nostro and Vostro and pre-funding liquidity model is bad for the world economy and must end. So he was just reminding us what Brad Garlinghouse said about Swift GPI a couple of years ago. Swift GPI is like putting a Ferrari shell on a Model T engine. It's a cosmetic upgrade, and old infrastructure messaging is still not tied to settlement. It's unidirectional and can't solve for liquidity. So that just with regards to this new Swiftgo project. Panos down here saying, by leveraging XRP, Ripple introduces a new payment settlement model that unlocks the trapped liquidity around the world, measured in trillions of dollars, offers instant settlement, exchange of value, not just data, and cuts the unnecessary middlemen. And if you guys still haven't visited Panos' blog here, his URL is panos.writeas.com, right up here, and he does publish about XRP, about Ripple, and a very intelligent guy, a common contributor to the XRP space. So he does explain it all in here. I'm not going to go over it, but I will link this link in the description of the video if you guys want to read further. So basically just giving us an outline with regards to Swiftgo. Saber down here challenging him a little bit with this. Swift GPI and Go are not the same thing. I guess Swiftgo uses R3, which at the end uses XRP, but Panos corrects him saying, who said it's the same? Also, no, it has nothing to do with XRP. R3 does not use XRP. Core to Settler, one core to DApp, has the XRP-L integrated, and it's up to the institutions to use it. So institutions can choose to settle with XRP if they want, but both counterparties must hold XRP for this to work, so it's not efficient. Other people down here chiming in on this tweet thread, so I will link this thread also in the description of the video. And Arturo Pertilla also brings up Panos' tweet, actually another one with regards to Swiftgo. Look, I like the idea that it's possible to avoid offshore account pre-funding through stuff like ODL. But absent the needed liquidity in XRP world, it's just better and even cheaper to use the good old correspondent settlement method. I'd also be wary of MCBDC settlement. So that is something else that he's talking about with regards to this. Panos responding saying, it will not happen overnight. Sure, there is a lack of liquidity right now to expand ODL rapidly around the world, but it is increasing over time. There are far too many benefits of using ODL, especially in e-liquid corridors, than the old correspondent banking system. Real XRP boy down here chiming in, lack of liquidity will soon not be an issue. Of course, the floodgates will open as soon as we do get that regulatory clarity, and I think that will set a lot of things in motion. The United States, obviously, a very important part of the global financial system, and so, when the United States has clarity, I think that will open up a lot, despite the fact that there is already a lot going on around the world with regards to RippleNet, XRP, right? We did just see all those partnerships, people that are using RippleNet software. In some of these cases, they are already utilizing XRP. Even MoneyGram was integrated with RippleNet and using XRP in certain corridors, not every corridor, but certain corridors. So we do need to have that network effect take place, the flywheel effect, if you guys have heard about that. I did a video on that, I believe it was last year, maybe even the year before. I'll link it up here if you guys don't know what that is. So, to Panos's point, right? We do need the liquidity. We're not seeing it right now. Agent Smith V3 down here saying it seems to me that even with low liquidity, with batching speed, price, and low volatility, that without the absolute need to settle in 3 seconds, that ODL would still be attractive and competitive enough functionally and could build volume that way. Sure, it might take 30 seconds. Arturo Portillo responding, though not at all. The liquidity eventually dries out if not matched with equivalent counterflows. So just giving us, and by the way, Arturo Portillo, I know he is part of the XRP community. He is a fan of the technology. He's just playing devil's advocate here. And so you guys can hop in on this if you're interested. I will link this tweet thread in the description of the video. Of course, guys, this all coming on the heels of the Q2 2021 report. So XRP Markets Report just came out yesterday, and I wanted to touch on this just a little bit. I will link it in the description if you guys want to read the full thing. You basically have the summary up here. I'm going to skip that. And the state of the regulatory clarity. As we know, Ripple's still in court. With regards to regulatory clarity, we do have regulatory clarity in some other countries. Just wanted to go down here, though. Disciplined, responsible stakeholders. So here's the Q2 sales and purchases report. Last quarter, total XRP sales by Ripple and net purchases were 157.92 million versus 150.34 million USD the previous quarter. You guys can see those numbers over here. Ripple continued to engage in sales to improve the on-demand liquidity experience of certain customers, eliminating the need for pre-funding at exchanges and enabling instant global payments. Total sales by Ripple net purchases ended the quarter at 4 BPS, or 0.04% of global XRP volume, according to Crypto Compare top tier volumes. This is compared to the total sales in the previous quarter of 7 BPS, according to CCTT. So some information there with regard to that. Reported volume, guys. CCTT's reported daily volume for XRP increased significantly in Q2 from Q1. The average daily volume reported doubled to 4.49 billion in Q2 versus 2.26 billion in the previous quarter. Notably, XRP volumes posted 4 of the highest volume days ever recorded. So I think that that is very important to note as well. The volume of XRP daily has really ramped up. Now, Wrath of Kahneman chimes in here, so he brings up some of those important points. Total XRP sales by Ripple, net of purchases, ended the Q3 at 4 BPS, or 0.04% of global XRP volume, down from 7 BPS. Total leases outstanding in Q2 were 57.7 million XRP, and 0.3 billion were sold from the escrow, which I did not touch on. Again, you guys can read the entire report if you are interested in all the details. They also talk about the tokenized future, and Monica Long also mentioning that with regards to NFTs. So if I go to Monica Long's tweet here, she mentions Q2 2021 saw 4 of the highest volume days for XRP ever recorded. New liquidity developments with Swissborg and Liquid, and native NFT support proposed for the XRP-LO, and also some notable tweets. So it sounds as though, despite the fact that Ripple is in court, and whether that is going to settle soon or not, I just did a video about that this morning. If you guys didn't catch that, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner, 2 opposing viewpoints on that. Nevertheless, despite the fact that they are in court today, it sounds as though, progress is being made, and Ripple, really just knocking it out of the park every single quarter, forging ahead, not being set back by things like this. Of course, we know they are very active in other countries around the world. The United States isn't their only market. However, grabbing that American market would be huge. It also helps that Ripple has a powerhouse board of directors. Now, I didn't realize, but Rosie Rios actually was interviewed by Barbara Bickham. Chainsaw Jackson posted this on Twitter. New Rosie Rios interview, so Evolution of Money. If you guys didn't hear this clip, I'm just going to play you guys this real quick.
I saw in your background that you are on the board of Ripple.
Yes,
and that's a crypto. That's a crypto. Yes, that's a cryptocurrency. Yep. So how do you see, I've actually worked with a company that's working on central bank digital currencies. How do you see cryptocurrency coming into play into a U.S. economy?
Yeah, first of all, it's already in play in the U.S. So, the interesting thing about anything that's innovative, like digital currency, like crypto, is that it usually leads, it doesn't follow, right? Government is the one that usually follows, not leads. And so the utility of how crypto is being applied is very different, right? For some people, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's really more of a store of value. It's more of a commodity. For XRP, which is Ripple's crypto, it's the reason why I chose to join this board is it's the only one that really has an applied use, right? So it facilitates cross-border payments. And so it serves a very kind of practical function. It's used by financial institutions around the world. And so I see it as a great way to think about the next, the evolution of money. Right. But in this case, again, how do we have something that isn't just a market value? It actually serves its purpose. And again, in this case, for those cross-border payments, it's made a huge difference in that world.
Booyah! That coming from Rosie Rios, the latest Ripple board member. Let's not forget she was the 43rd treasurer. This is the person that has her name on all the money. The US banknotes. Rosie Rios now on the board at Ripple, and she's talking about, the innovation with cryptocurrency and the fact that XRP is not just going to have a market price. And, I think if I were to decipher what she's saying here is, there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there that are just trading. Buyers and sellers are coming to an agreement on the market price and they are just trading for that amount. What she is saying about XRP is that it is not just going to have a market price. There is going to be value derived from XRP, and that, my friends, is going to be so much more lucrative for XRP price moving forward. Think of it for a second. Would you rather buy something that does something, or would you rather buy something that does nothing? Okay? I think at the end of the day, this is what we can boil it down to. The fact that, the cryptocurrencies, the true cryptocurrencies that solve a problem will have value attached to them. XRP in these early stages right now. The cryptocurrency clarity has to come down in the United States. The Q2 2021 report looking very promising for Ripple and XRP. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.